Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com, and this is a look at the camera and camcorder application on the HTC HD2. In the full review that we posted a few days ago on Pocketnow.com, we talked about the photo and video quality, which we decided was not too great, although it's passable. So in this video, we're going to look at these applications to show you what has changed and sort of how this camera application works and how fast it takes pictures, because the Snapdragon processor really helps it snap pictures extremely fast. So here we are. Right now we have sort of a background object and a foreground object, just as sort of a demonstration. So let's first start off with taking pictures quickly. So I'm going to turn off the flash so we don't have to deal with that, and I'm just going to take a picture. I'm not going to really worry about how it's going to look on the screen, and you can see how fast the camera application is. On other HTC devices or other Windows mobile devices, it's really slow to get from the point where you take a picture and you're ready to take the next one. It takes about 3 seconds, but not the case on this device. So we have selective autofocus, meaning I can tap the background to get that in focus, the foreground will get blurry, or I can tap on the foreground to get the background kind of a little bit blurry. We can change the flash mode over here. We can have it go into fill light or automatic, and let's go into fill light so you get an idea of sort of what photos look like with the flash. Because the flash is so extremely bright, a lot of the time, even if you are shooting from several feet away in an indoor situation, the resulting picture just has too much light. And that's thanks in part to this dual LED flash, which I think doesn't really make much sense. I think one LED would have been plenty of light to provide to a dark subject if you're taking pictures. So the flash is kind of detrimental, I think, to the camera of the HD2. So let's go through some other settings. What's kind of new about this device is that we have a zoom bar over here, although this is using digital zoom, which as most people know is kind of fake. It doesn't actually mechanically move the lens in and out, it just zooms in on the picture. And the result is that if you take a picture that is zoomed in, it will likely be a lot more blurry than if you were to take one zoomed out. Or I should say pixelated, not necessarily blurry. So let's zoom back out. If we go into settings, we have another way to switch between storage on the device or storage on the storage card included. Before you had to kind of dig into settings to change this, but now it's quick and easy to sort of determine where you want the pictures to go. Of course, we have the standard settings here, like white balance. We can change the white balance to automatic, indoors, outdoors, that sort of thing. There's a night mode. We can change the brightness of the picture. And let's go back. We can change the ISO setting, the self-timer, if you want to kind of rest this on a shelf somewhere and take a family portrait or something like that. We can go into advanced and see all the settings here, which are pretty common for HTC devices. So we can change the resolution. The highest resolution is 5 megapixels, and right now it's set at that. Although we can go to 3, 2, and 1 megapixels, and if you're trying to save on space, you can always go to just the sort of almost VGA size. So I'm going to hit cancel and go back. We can also decide if we want to have a widescreen photo. If not, you'll see kind of the letterbox or the bar on the side. I think it makes a lot more sense to have that nice widescreen view. So I'm going to turn that back on. Touch focus on or off, and we already demonstrated that selective autofocus. Review duration, and this is a way that you can get it to take pictures even faster. So we can say no review, and you can get the next picture ready to go even faster than that. Going down the list, we have quality, and you can change it from fine to super fine to basic. Moving on, we can also turn on and off a timestamp if you want to remember when it was taken. We can determine if we want to keep the backlight on, or you can turn it off to save on battery life. Going forward, you have the shutter sound if you want it to make a sound after you've taken the picture. We can change the effects to have sort of grayscale. You can kind of see on the side what that looks like. Sepia, negative, kind of some fun stuff there. Metering mode, which I can't change due to the focus mode. Going over, we have the counter, which shows you how many pictures you've taken. This is helpful if you have a flash card, so you can determine if you've taken 50 pictures or 100 pictures, and you want to see how many you've actually taken. Flicker adjustment, it's always good to have that on auto so that it can determine if it needs to cut down on flicker adjustment depending on what you're taking a picture of. You can turn on and off a grid to help you align things on the screen. And if we go to About, we see this is version 6.26. Now let's switch modes to the camcorder mode to see kind of what settings we get there. So here are the other camera modes, and we can do a panorama, and a contacts picture that'll go right to contacts, which is great. And here we are in video. Let's see the settings that we have here. We can change the brightness. Again, we have one touch to change the storage option. If we go into advanced, we can change the resolution. This will do up to VGA recording, which is pretty good. It's above average for a smartphone, but it's certainly not high definition. We can change the review duration, the capture format, and we can switch between only 2 different formats. We can change a recording limit if you don't want it to record for a very long time. Going over to the next side, we have keep backlight on or off. We can record with audio, which is always good to have on. Again, the shutter sound is there. We can change the effect to the same 3 effects that we found previously. There's a counter again, and you get the point from there. So just as a little test, let's look at the video quality on this device. I'm just going to do a little bit of a test and move things around so you can kind of get a feel for how good the camera is. And we're not going to put the fill light on because that makes things look not so nice. So we're going to leave it on no fill light. Okay, this is a test of the camera, or the camcorder, on the HD2. We're going to move things around so we can get a test or a feel for how quickly, how the frame rate is on this device when recording. And here's an HTC Pure. Alright, let's stop it and see what that looks like. Play. Is the volume up?
Camcorder on the HD2. We're going to move things around so we can get a test or a feel for how quickly, how the frame rate is on this device when recording. And here's an HTC Pure. Alright, let's stop.
So the quality is pretty good. It's not going to replace your HD camcorder, that's for sure, but if you're doing a quick video, this definitely is capable of helping you out in that way. So that was just a quick look at the camera application on the HTC HD2. The really fast processor helps to get from picture to picture really quickly, so there's really no wait, but the quality of the photos could be better, and perhaps a firmware upgrade will help with some of these issues. The flash is way too bright, and the pictures come out kind of grainy, and the video's not too sharp. But it works. It's not supposed to replace your camera, and it does an okay job. That's it for now.